Good to see you, PJ.
Hey, Wags. Likewise.
Hey, Coach Newberry is a semifinalist for Coach of the Year, National Coach of the Year. Would you vote for
Hell yeah.
him?
Absolutely. I think they'd be crazy if they voted for anybody else.
I think you should get that award that goes to the Assistant Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm pretty far down that list, I'm sure.
Hey, so you shook up the secondary a little bit. Nick Bell started, and then I believe Cam Robinson got a lot of run.
Yeah.
Really, the most of how did you feel those two young guys performed?
Yeah, I was really excited for them to get the opportunity, and I thought they both performed um, at a really good level against a tough opponent in their first considerable action in a football game. I think that they both have really high ceilings and did just a remarkable job. And as we all know, there's always meat on the bone. But I was really impressed with those two guys and super proud of them. But I think no one around here was shocked because they've been guys that have just been getting better and better Wags in practice every week. And we talked about practice reps being game reality. I mean, you just see these guys working their tails off with Coach Green and getting better and improving. And then when their opportunity presented itself, I really thought both of them performed at a high level.
Well, so I was going to ask, what did they do specifically to earn their way in? I mean, Nick is to a starting spot, and Cam to obviously a lot more playing time. And I'm presuming he got used in like nickel and dime type situations.
Yeah, we weren't in a ton of substitution packages on Saturday. Probably would have liked to have one more series of one, to be honest with you. But sometimes the tempo keeps you out of being able to do a couple of those things. Um, but it comes down to practice, Wags. Like there's no secret. It comes down to the guys that are practicing the right way, um, playing with the right technique, putting their eyes where they're supposed to be, and guys that we got a lot of confidence and trust in. And those two, Nick's been a guy that for about the last 3 weeks, a month, has probably practiced better than anybody. And there's times on the field where I thought Cam was the best corner we've had all season out there. So I was really impressed with both of them. And it all comes down to practice. It wasn't just, a war of attrition or anything like that. It was, they earned it. Proud of them.
Cam's listed as the safety on the roster, but he is playing corner.
He's playing corner. Yeah, we've moved Cam around quite a bit because he's such a talented guy. He started at corner and we moved to safety. We moved back to corner about a month ago. Probably just never made the switch back in terms of that. He still plays some safety in practice too. He's a pretty versatile player.
And lastly, before I turn it over, the first half defense, I thought it was phenomenal holding a team like that to 9 points. I don't know if anybody's done that all season. And then obviously the offense helped you in the third quarter by possessing the ball. I know the USF hit their stride in the fourth quarter, obviously, but that first half defense, I mean, I think they had the last possession, the half ended, so I'm not going to count that. But they had 7 possessions, and you got what I consider 5 defensive stops. I consider limiting them to a field goal when they're on the 4-yard line a stop. That's pretty daggone good.
I thought we came out and played our style of football in the first half, and we really we talked about running to the fight like we knew. I mean, shucks, man, they've been averaging 52 points a game. They're number 5 offense in the country coming into the game, and they're a formidable opponent with a lot of really good players. And I thought we ran to the fight, and we were fearless with the way that we attacked and played the game. Got a little sloppy towards the end, and obviously there's always some things you got to go back to the drawing board and look to fix and stuff like that. But I think putting that team behind, and the way that we did it, first drive, punt, offense goes down, scores. Second drive, they get an X play. We bow up, force a field goal. Third drive, offense fumbles. They get 10 yards on 6 plays. Then we get the ball back to the offense. Offense goes back down and scores. They scored a touchdown after that, and then we go 3 plays, 7 yards, get the ball back to the offense, they go back down and score again. And then fifth drive, we get an INT, offense kicks a field goal. We just put them behind on the scoreboard. And I was really impressed with it. We had 2 pinned in situations. I think I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about our punt team, pinning them in twice, playing the field position game. And we got 2 3 and outs in those situations. Plus that INT to set up 13 points. I mean, it was complimentary football at its finest. And then obviously in the fourth quarter, we just need to get off the field on one of those third downs, just to keep them at bay a little bit more. But we got a lot of young guys playing. We're getting better every week. We're playing really good talent. Memphis is no different this week. But I'm excited about this group, and I think we're really growing. And we got to continue to work at it so we can hit on all cylinders.
Scott Wyckoff.
Yeah, Coach, what do you think the biggest thing that the defense has learned over the last 3 weeks that's going to help them as they get set now for Memphis?
Just keep playing. Just keep playing. The most important play is that one. And then as soon as that thing's over, wipe it off and then go to the next one. And just keep working on doing your 111th. And it's hard sometimes, Scott, because you're playing good teams and that you got young guys out there and they don't have banked reps to call back on all this stuff. And I think we just keep growing and growing as the season's gone along. But I think you just got to keep playing. You're not going to shut these guys out. You're playing. I mean, we've played 3 top 25 offenses in the last 3 weeks. You're not going to shut teams out. You're not going to get 3 and outs every time. They're too good. They're too talented. They're too well coached. So you just got to keep playing, keep getting in the huddle, keep trying to do your 111th, and eventually good things happen. And it's just it's a battle every single play. And that's who we are, man. This is a resilient, tough bunch that comes to work every day. And we just keep getting better.
It seems like Griffin's taken his game up another notch in the last couple of games.
Yeah, I thought Notre Dame was probably his best game of the year. I thought he was great. I thought he did some excellent things in this football game against USF too. I showed the entire defense. He made a play on a screen on 3rd and 4. We call it hot stove, where he's down on the ground. I mean, his feet are above his head. I mean, he's on the ground. His feet are above on his head. And a lot of people will just lay right there on the ground. But for us, the ground is a hot stove. We say, when you put your hand on a stove, you pull it off. That's the same thing the ground is for us when we play. And he gets up and he goes and chases a screen down and tackles a receiver. And they're short of the sticks. And the next play was the 4th and 1 play where they went to big people and we stoned them and got off the field, which is a huge play inside of 2 minutes in the first half. And that comes down to just playing with effort, attitude, and toughness and playing our style of football. And Griff did that on that play. And I thought that was an enormous play in the football game.
What does it mean for your defense to have Lance either kick it out of the end zone after you guys have scored or put it up in the air inside the 20 where the coverage will pin him back?
Yeah, I similar to us defensively, I just think special teams wise, we've just gotten better and better all year long. And I think Lance coming into his own as a kicker, we've all seen the talent that he has. And he's kicking the ball at an extremely high level right now. And for him to be able to put the ball down there, and we got some guys that run down there and can make some tackles in space in our scheme, and then he blasts the ball out of the end zone. And you see Jacob Carlson on punt, Nate Kirkwood putting the ball through the uprights. Those guys are doing a phenomenal job. And that is such an integral piece of how we play, Scott. We have to play complementary football. And when we say that, we don't just mean offense and defense. It's all 3 phases clicking on all cylinders, and we are on our way there.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Scott.
Tim Nolan.
PJ, how has Phil's move to safety really unlocked that tackling ability that he really enjoys?
Yeah, I mean, Phil is an ultimate competitor, Tim, and that was one of the things we wanted to do to move him to safety. He's got a great skill set of probably a field corner and a slot corner, and for us to move him to safety, that's a spot, that's a playmaking position for us with all the different coverages that we play, different ways that we roll him down and back and over. And that's a guy that for us throughout the course of time, since I've been with Coach Newberry, has been a guy that's a playmaker for us. And Phil thrives, in that arena, in that spotlight. Like, he wants to be the guy when the game's on the line. Like, it's his opportunity to make a play, whether it's a tackle or a reroute or a play on the football, those types of things. And he's tackling well. He came to me during the game. He's like, I know my tackling. I was like, just breathe. You're okay. I'm talking to you about something else right now. So like he's the right guy for the position. And I think it's really helped us defensively moving him to that spot. And he's a guy that thinks quick on his feet, is able to communicate to his teammates, and they got a ton of confidence and trust in. So I've been really, really excited with him taking that move. And I think he's really taken to it, Tim, in a short amount of time.
And in your starting defense, it seems like in his short sample size, Coleman Cauley just has this innate nose for the football, the way that he can fill some gaps. What's impressed you with just the way that he can read opposing offenses?
He's a tackling machine, man. And I told so I know Phil was conference player of the week, obviously defensively, and had a phenomenal game. As a coaching staff, we nominated Coleman and selected him for our player of the game, for the team. And I mean, he's just all over the field. And I told the entire football team this, Tim, and I'll shout it from the mountaintop. Like, if you want to be inspired watching somebody play football the right way, like, watch 58 play in and play out. Like, he plays the game the way that it's supposed to be played. And it is inspiring to watch him play. Like, I'm his coach, and I watch him play, and I get freaking gassed up watching him play, the way that he flies around all over the field. He's got phenomenal instincts. He's super, super physical, and he's even keel all game long. Like, I just love the way he's playing football, and super impressed with him.
Given those emotions, how do you bottle it up? I mean, you got to wait so long for this next game. How do you stay focused? While also enjoying getting some rest, but knowing how big that Memphis game is.
Yeah, there's no rest for us. It's we'll get the players off their feet and things like that, but coaches, I mean, we're grinding on this thing, trying to make sure the guys are healthy, that we're fast, we can fly around, we can play physical, play our style of football, be where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there. But this is a enormous task. We did not play well versus these guys defensively last year, and they've got a great scheme. They do a phenomenal job with really good players, and it's week in and week out. We got our hands full as a coaching staff to get our guys ready to go play ball, and this is certainly one of those situations. So we're just running to the work and getting ready for the fight.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Thing I've most been impressed with Coleman, it seems like every tackle is like a car wreck. Like, guys stay tackled when he hits them. I've never seen anyone hit people like him.
He's got Coach Newberry and I were talking about Strauss. Like, he's got a way to like he's got a great instinct of how to time up his punch, how to time up his shoulder strikes, all those things. It's impressive. I mean, his hit on the bubble screen or on the flare screen on Saturday is the best I've ever seen a Mike linebacker play that play. I mean, usually that's just a nice goat tackle or goat roll. You get him on the ground. I mean, he rolled over there and smashed the guy into the turf. I mean, it was impressive.
Makes guys not want to catch it the next time.
Hey, not to interrupt real quick, but Griffin Willis said something yesterday after practice about him actually having 16 tackles. Did you all find more tackles on
Coaches' tackles are different than the official tackles.
Oh.
Yeah, so what Griffin said was correct, but they're done differently sometimes.
You trying to get me in trouble, Wags? You trying to get me in trouble?
No, not at all. You guys can hack. Nope, not at all. You're not in trouble at all. Wyatt Copeland.
Hey, Coach. So Coach Newberry said on Monday how the emphasis of this week, albeit it's not a traditional bye week, is to get healthy, but also to focus on improving with a mini scout. What are some of the biggest things you're looking for out of this defense to begin preparing for Memphis, as you just mentioned, how this team has to play better?
Yeah, I mean, we've just got to go to work. I mean, there's no secrets, Wyatt, in terms of that. Like it is, the same recipe for us. Like we've got to go get lined up. We've got to make sure we're all on the same page, and we got to play with great fundamentals. And we got to continue to work on our pillars. Like it is something that is extremely important to us. Like we're going to start practice off today with a tackling drill that is really important to us. We're going to start the whole thing off with that. We're going to have a bunch of fundamentals. We're going to work on our coverage, our base coverages, and a couple nuanced coverages, and then we're going to get into our base fits, a couple nuanced fits and pressures against these guys. But we're going to work to get a considerable amount of the game plan in this week, and then refine it next week leading up to Thursday.
What's the biggest thing you saw from Julian Mutame? He had a half tackle for loss and a half sack as a result on Saturday. Somebody, is also a sophomore like Phil. Seems like he's making some strides too.
I think Julian's making a lot of great strides. He's in. We've been blessed with really good defensive end play since I've been here. Jacob Busick's was an exceptional player here. Same thing with Justin Reed. I think Mutame is probably further along than both those guys were as sophomores. And we see the blemishes. As coaches, we live in a world of corrections, all those types of things. But I really think Julian has an enormously high ceiling. There's things that he's got to work on, things that he's got to get better at, and he knows that. But I think every time he goes out there, he gets better and better. You talk about. I was just talking about this with one of my good friends in coaching. Like one of the things we always talk about, Wyatt, is when you get to game day, like you fall back on your level of training. Like you don't rise to the occasion. You go to your level of training. But when you're a young guy and you don't have a ton of banked reps, like there's really, it's hard to rise or fall to your level of training because it's such a small sample size. And that's where we're at with some of these guys. So a lot of this stuff is new that happens to them. So they're learning on the run a little bit. So I'm really excited about Julian, and Coach Hall coaches him extremely hard. Is after him on every single play at practice. I just think he's nowhere near the potential of what he's going to be by the time he's a senior here.
It still is, I believe, 3.5 tackles for loss on the season. What do you remember telling him most at the beginning of the season about what this challenge would be like of getting significant stats at defensive end?
Oh, in terms of getting stats there?
No, and in terms of getting significant snaps on defensive end, right? What do you remember telling him most about this opportunity?
And I mean, I don't think I ever go into a season telling a guy, you're going to get a ton of reps or anything like that. You get what you earn is really what it comes down to, Wyatt. And each week is independent of itself, And so as soon as the week's over, I mean, it's 0-0. And then you're doing everything that you can to go get those reps, the following Saturday. And you do that by practicing the right way Monday through Friday. And Julian is a guy that I think all of us enjoy being around, Wyatt, because football is really, really important to him. Like we talk about guys that we want that are smart, they're tough, and they love football. Like he's boom, boom, boom. He's an OKG. He's smart. He's tough. He loves ball. He loves going out to practice. He's always one of those guys that, hey, how you doing today? I'm great because it's football time. Like football is really important to him, and those are the guys we love being around, obviously, as coaches.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wyatt.
All right, we'll make one more trip around. Wags.
So did Justin Ross start at the other cornerback on Saturday?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's what the game sheet shows.
He did. We rotated. We had quite a few guys that played on the defensive backfield. I mean, last year when we played those guys, I think we had 28 guys get 10 snaps or more. It was very similar again. I'd have to go back and look at the numbers. It's very similar again this year.
So I guess the bottom line is that at cornerback in particular, it's a ongoing competition, and guys like Ira can try to fight back and get their spot back.
Yeah, and Ira played Saturday as well. It's something. Every position, like we just talked about, like your practice reps are game reality. Like we want to see guys that are going to go out there and play our style of football, practice the way that we need to practice, have the detail, and deserve to be out there on the field. And I think Coach Green's done an amazing job recruiting that room, building up the talent in that room. And I really think we've got a lot of guys that are more than capable of being not just like good players for us, but I think all conference type players for us there at that position. And a lot of those guys just need to play to their capability. And it starts by practicing in that manner. And I really think we got a lot of guys out there, Wags, that we can win with. And we're just looking to find consistency, and that's built through practice.
What prompted you all to move Philip Hamilton to safety?
After the Temple game, it didn't look the way that we wanted to look, and really needed to make sure that we were putting the best 11 guys out there that were going to go attack and play our style of football. And so that's where it all sort of started, was us talking about, like, all right, here's the guys that are going to attack. Here's the guys that are going to play our style of football or have shown to this point that they're willing to do it. And then let's get them on the field. And it's tough to do that as a coach, because then you're starting over with some guys, that's what we've been having to do at that position. And it's a testament to Coach Lewis and his coaching style and the way that he's able to get a guy up to speed quickly, because it's not easy. There's a lot of things that our guys have to do out on the field, and to make sure we're all on the same page, especially at that position. And I've been really, really impressed with him. But Phil plays our style of football, we needed to get him out on the field more. And it's one of those deals, like, are you robbing Peter to play Paul? I don't know, but it was a necessary deal for us.
Well, I was talking to Phil. I mean, it seems like he really has, fit right well at the position. And Mike James had him on my podcast, and he was mentioning that when he first saw the movie, he was worried because Philip's a fairly slight guy, and he knew that at safety you got to do run fits. But my goodness, he loves to stick his nose in there. He's made some plays at the line of scrimmage.
He's a competitor, man. Like, he is a guy that, like, we all have confidence and trust in. We recruited him as a quarterback. So he's a guy that doesn't mind the spotlight or anything like that. Doesn't mind the game being on the line and him having to execute at a high level. And I think to a man defensively, like, we all we all know that Phil's got our back and we've got his back. And around here, man, it certainly is not the size of the dog in the fight. That's something that we've learned quickly around here. And Phil's a dog, and there's no doubt about that.
So do you envision that he'll stay there at safety, or do you think he is truly a corner who's just filling in at safety for the time being?
That's a good question. That's been a position where we've lost a couple guys for various reasons. Obviously we lost guys at through graduation, lost guys through various reasons, not to get into all the semantics and things like that. I think he's a versatile player and probably could play all 4 spots back there plus the nickel. We started with him as the nickel, and then we moved him out to corner, and then we moved him back to safety. And I think that's a testament to him and who he is. I don't have a crystal ball to know where he's going to be for the rest of his time here, but he's certainly set himself up to play a ton of football for us moving forward, Wags. And that's because of his hard work. And he's the juice guy. He's the ringleader back there. He's taken that role on as a young player, and I'm really impressed with him.
Thanks, PJ.
Thanks, Wags.
He's kind of the Deion Sanders of the Navy secondary. He's funny.
Ooh. He certainly is funny.
Scott Wyckoff.
He's got a great personality.
Coach, what is it about not only the program but the Naval Academy when we hear like a Nick Bell, and we've heard it from other players saying, he could have gone and played at Arkansas, a program that he loved, his father, such a big part of.
Sure.
He's getting campus visits at Princeton University, but he says when he came to the Naval Academy and he had his on-campus visit, he said it was home. And we've heard that from other guys. Why is that?
Oh man, we talked about this a little bit a couple of weeks ago, Scott. I think, this place is extremely special, and there's a ton of history here. The people here make this place, though, and there's a reason why there's so many people that have been here for as long as Strauss. There's a reason why I was sort of blown away. Naval Academy grads come back and live here in Annapolis and want to be associated with the Naval Academy and the program. And I think it's really hard to sum up and quantify, other than where'd you go to school?
Union College, Schenectady, New York, Division 3.
So, all right. Yeah. I knew I liked you, man. Division 3 guy. So, but I think all of us, when we go and you start looking at places and you start diving into what's important for you, when you walk on campus and you start to get that feeling in your stomach, you start to get that tingling, or the hair on the back of your neck sticks up, and you're like, man, this is the place for me. And I think there's a lot of things that go into that around here. And I think probably honesty and high character are probably right at the top of the list. And I think Coach Lewis always sums it up really well. He's like, I've been, you look at Coach Lewis's resume, man, he's been all over the place and been at phenomenal places, professional, college, all that type of stuff. He's like, this is the first place where we don't just talk to you. We don't tell you about all the unicorns and rainbows and things like that. We tell you how hard it's going to be. And I think to be honest with you, it separates, the men from the boys. And, you hear about how hard a place is going to be, how tough it's going to be, how much the people are going to care about you around here and help you get through the adverse times. You hear those things, and if you're not confident in yourself or your ability or anything like that, some people will be scared away by that. And that's okay, because then this place isn't right for you. But when you hear those things and then you start to make the connections with the people that are here, and you're like, you know what, if it doesn't challenge me, it's not going to change me for the better. That's what I want. I want to be better. I want to reach my full potential. I want to be able to do those things. And then that starts to connect our guys. And then that's why they choose here. And regardless of all the other opportunities that are out there, that's why they choose here. That's why they stay here. And that's why they're successful here. And Nick's one of those many guys. And there's going to be more guys that are in his class and in the classes behind him and in the classes ahead of him that are going to be very similar situations and stories.
And sticking with Nick, what does it say about Nick when he's a sophomore and he's got upperclassmen describing him as the toughest guy in the team?
Yeah, he's a tough dude, man. And there's a bunch of tough guys. And Nick's super talented, but he's just and he started off the year pretty high up on the depth chart. and then fell down on the depth chart and then just has battled his way back up. And we all see it. Like, that's the thing. Like, we all see it. We all look at it. You know what's going on there. And there's nowhere in America where teammates root for their teammates like they do here at the Naval Academy. Like, this is as healthy a competition for playing time as anywhere you'll find in the country. And I think that's a testament to Nick and who he is and his toughness, that like his teammates are looking at him and saying, man, that's a tough dude right there. Because when you're surrounded by a bunch of tough dudes and people call you the toughest on the team, that's a major statement. And that tells you the type of young man that you are.
Have a good practice.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
We've got about 5 minutes left. So one question each for Tim and Wyatt. Tim.
Yeah, mine's pretty easy, Coach. Army Navy jersey reveal, Navy 250. What's your favorite part of the uniform, and what piece of merch can you now wait to get your hands on?
Okay. I don't know who like puts all the work into that, but like I'm always just blown away by, to be honest with you, the video and the detail of it all. I just think the production value of the video, like everything, it's like a movie trailer, man. Like, I'm on the edge of my seat watching that stuff. And then I'm a hoodie guy, man. So anything I can get with a hood, I'm pretty good. So I thought the Coach or G does a great job with that stuff. He showed me one of the zip down hoodies. I thought it was pretty cool. I was pretty impressed with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll shout out Morgan Taylor for the overall, and then I know Eric Beatty's involved a lot with the video. We hire a couple guys too, bring them on as well. So a lot of people involved, but I'll mention those two.
It's just a week in or year in and year out, Scott. I mean, it's just super impressive that the work that they do. I mean, it is just
no doubt.
I mean, it's mind blowing. It's wonderful.
Wyatt, take us out.
I asked Coach Newberg this on Monday as well on how or what he hopes this team could have learned about itself from playing a very complete game against South Florida. He said it is so important that this team knows how good it can be. As a defensive coordinator, is that the similar hope you share about what this team learned of itself?
Yeah, I really do. I thought Coach, I wrote it down, man, and he said we're starting to hit on all cylinders. We're not there yet, and it's just a constant race, constant battle for us to just keep improving. And there's I think there's a ton of as a coach, there's a ton of frustration in that sometimes, because you see the capability that everybody has, and when it's unrealized or it's not quite getting done, that there is a certain level of frustration there. But this group works. They keep getting better. They keep improving, and we need to be playing our best football on Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, PJ.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks. Have a great day.